Wait, what?
Are you okay?
Wait, what just happened?
Kylie's 25th birthday trip, Pete Davidson in trauma therapy, and Kendall parties in Chicago. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We have your Kardashian headlines of the week, but before we get into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any future videos. I'm Allison Van Dam, joined today by the lovely and beautiful Blakely McHugh. Blakely, how excited are you to dive into these Kardashian headlines today?
I'm always excited to dive into the Kardashian headlines. I feel like every week, I mean, it's because there's so many of them, but every week they give us something notable to talk about, especially this week. Obviously, like Kylie turned 25. There's a whole Pete Kim drama. So, and I always love chatting about anything with you, Allison.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. So let's just dive right on into it with the birthday girl herself. We actually got an insider look and some insider comments into the trip. So a source close to Kylie and Kim exclusively told E! News that Kylie celebrated turning 25 years old by flying out with a group of girlfriends for a, quote, very intimate and relaxing trip. Now, we need to remember that this is intimate on the Kardashian standards and not intimate and relaxing as us normal people would be enjoying. And Kris, Kendall, and Stormi also joined the group on vacation. And the insider noted that Kylie, quote, loves that she can bring Stormi along and celebrate these milestones with her. Now, I think this fits with everything we've seen with Kylie thus far. She loves when Stormi is involved with not only her work, but her personal life. You know, she's done collabs with her with Kylie Cosmetics. We've seen Stormi running around the office. So, of course, she joins for her mom's 25th birthday trip. Khloe, however, was not in attendance, but we know that that's probably because she recently welcomed a baby boy into the world via surrogate with her ex, Tristan Thompson. So we'll give her a pass for this one. She's enjoying being a new mom. And in terms of the group activities on the trip, the source said, quote, they have been spending time relaxing by the pool and the beach while having drinks and quality girl time. So Blakely, this automatically sounds like a trip that we would love to be on and probably something that we would do for our own birthdays. And Kylie is taking fans behind the scenes. She's been pretty active on TikTok lately, which people have been loving. But she actually posted a TikTok on her birthday morning. She started with a little mirror selfie shot. She was in a pink mini dress holding her iced coffee. And then she showed a video of her sitting down to breakfast with her girl gang. They were all wishing her a happy birthday and diving into a lovely breakfast, which just looked really fun, really normal, down to earth. And people are also noting that this trip came quickly after the news broke that Kim and Pete Davidson split up. We've seen Kim on the trip. You just sent me a hilarious video of Kim requesting a shot and then spitting it out. So I love that she's kind of trying to keep up with her decades younger sister and try and take the shot. You know, she's single now. But the source also commented on, you know, the fact that Kim is going on this trip shortly after the breakup, saying that Kim was, quote, excited to get away with her sisters and celebrate Kylie. She loves a girl trip and it was much needed. So Blakely, I know I personally love seeing anytime the Kardashians travel and go on vacation because it's always, you know, so like grandiose and opulent and so fun to follow along. And I also love seeing like vacation episodes when they still had their show on E! So what are you thinking about Kylie's 25th birthday trip? And if you had to join or got to join a Kardashian vacation in the past, which vacation would you most likely want to join?
I mean, first off, any vacation, right? Because if you are vacationing with the Kardashians, they are doing it up. So even if you're going to Camp North, I'll join Camp North, please, because that looks better than any vacation that I've ever been on. I mean, the private jet in and of itself. But I think the vacation that I would want to go on was the one that they took to Greece, because actually that trip that they did inspired my trip to Greece when I went for my college graduation trip. And so that has been one that just always stuck out to me when they took the catamaran. I believe they took those kayaks into the different caves. I mean, I just remember it being like the coolest trip. And I loved when they got the fish eaten by their feet eaten by the fish when they did the pedicures. And so that was always my thing. I'm like, I need to go to Greece. I need to have my feet eaten by the fish because that's what the Kardashians did. And that's what I want to do. So if I were to ever join, be able to go back and join a trip, it would 100% be their Greece trip. And I mean, I'm sure like there was a lot more that probably went into Kylie's birthday than we're even getting, you know, because obviously they said intimate and relaxing, but Kylie is a girl that likes to have a little bit of fun too. I mean, we saw her on that one trip when she was like, I'm wasted. I'm going to get wasted. Just got a cup of 42, whatever that song was. Like, she's a girl that likes to have some fun. So, and then we obviously, I showed you the video of Kim taking the shot.
Happy birthday!
Wait, what?
Are you okay?
Slash not taking the shot, attempting to take the shot. So join me on any Kardashian Jenner vacation and I'm happy.
Exactly. And I feel like not only are the trips themselves and the destinations like so glamorous, but we're even seeing on this trip, like they're on the beach, they're at the pool. There was, the night of her celebrating her 25th where the shot from Kim was taken, and they're out on a yacht. So this is an elaborate trip. They're probably traveling with a camera crew if they're already filming for season 3. They probably have their glam teams there should they want to do any photos or videos. This is a full production, but I'm like, live it up, girlfriends, because you have become billionaires. So you might as well start spending that money now. And we love to follow along. So speaking of Kim,
I always like to say, if you got it, flaunt it. So if you got the money, why not travel in style,
Exactly. And if they want you and I to go along and add some commentary, I'm not sure what else we can offer. I guess we could try to do their makeup, but I'm not sure how well that would go. We're available if anyone wants to pay for our airfare. Yeah. So speaking of Kim and Pete, Pete Davidson has actually been in trauma therapy since April, and it's mainly due to Kanye West's social media posts. Now, I think we all know that Kanye has been targeting Pete online throughout his relationship with Kim, posting things that usually are then taken down, but he's been very kind of anti-skeet, as he calls them. And he most recently posted a fake New York Times front page that just read, "Skeet Davidson dead at age 28 after the Kim and Pete breakup news went public." He's taken it beyond social media. He's actually rapped about beating Pete Davidson's blank in his music. He's called him a D-head on social media and more. He's really, just thrown everything he has into hating Pete. We all saw the text between the two of them that went back and forth. It's been a relationship filled with animosity, and I think Pete's trying to stand up for Kim. Kim's trying to protect Pete. It's really been very heated between the three of them. So it's no surprise to me that Pete has been taking the time to prioritize his mental health and seeking help from professionals to process the slander and kind of the hatred coming from Kim's ex-husband. So Blakely, my question to you is, obviously, Kanye is known for being very outspoken, for doing what he wants to do, for posting what he wants to post. I'm not sure if he has a PR team or, how high their blood pressure is at this point. But do you think Instagram and Twitter and, any sort of social media platform should have better regulations in place to stop bullying and hate, even if it's, coming from a celebrity aimed at another celebrity?
I 100% think so, but I think that there's such a fine line between freedom of speech, right? And then also regulations, because we see, I just saw it the other day, Instagram, somebody, I follow a bunch of news people because, I used to be in news, and one of the reporters was saying, I was getting a shot. But in terms of shooting video, I was getting a shot, right? And this whole thing came up about, this might be about COVID, the vaccine, yada, yada, yada. So and then they really regulated COVID and misinformation, which is great. Like, misinformation needs to be regulated. But then again, are you hindering someone's freedom of speech when they're not even talking about COVID? But now you're making it about that, so it's really, and a lot of people get angry about that too now, because Instagram's interfering with something that doesn't have to do with that. But then again, when misinformation happens or hateful speech happens, then they want the social media app to come in and they want them to regulate it. So there's such this fine line between, not allowing, bullying and harassment and hateful speech to happen on a public platform, which I do think that social media apps have a responsibility to filter, but then at the same time, they have a responsibility to filter it correctly. I mean, you have the money to hire those people and to create these programs. So it's a difficult question to answer and to navigate, because because again, we have this freedom of speech, but you just don't realize the impacts that social media and words from other people can have on human beings until you hear, Pete Davidson, who's a comedian who's largely made fun of people off of his career, not in a way that Kanye does, and I'm not comparing whatsoever, but somebody who's done that to make a living is now having to go seek out help for similar, but obviously in a much more aggressive way, something being done to him. And it was shocking to actually hear that news, because you think that he's able to roll with the punches. And usually it has seemed like, as an outsider, that a lot of those have just kind of, he's rolled off his shoulder, or whatever that phrase is. He rolled off his back, or, from Kanye, and he's responded with his own jokes. We saw the picture with the tongue out in the bed and things like that. So it didn't seem like there, as much as that, that there is an impact, it didn't seem like there was that much. And then you hear this news that he's going to trauma therapy. It was shocking.
Yeah, I agree. And he gives such this, carefree vibe. And I think we've seen he really did very much care for Kim, for her family. And I think he was rolling with the punches while also, drawing clear boundaries with Kanye, with the public, when it came to their relationship, when it came to Kim specifically. But I do think it's impressive and important. Like, now we're hearing he's been in therapy. It's not he's going now based on the breakup. He's been going to therapy since April, is what this source said, while he was, probably very committed and very happy with Kim. And I think that just proves, and it's an important message, that sometimes you just need to kind of be doing that routine maintenance on yourself and on your mental health, even if it seems like everything's going well. And I'm sure that's done nothing but help him during the breakup, during this final, Kanye post of the fake New York Times article. And I'm honestly kind of glad that this came to light, because I do think it's always important and impressive when public figures are able to talk about mental health, about talking about seeking out help and working with professionals, because, it helps influence the normal people, the people who look up to them. So hopefully he is doing well, and hopefully, continued therapy are really helping him process everything.
And I'm curious, Allison, do you think, because he's been going since April, I feel like there's people who are skeptical that Kim and Pete's breakup is just because of scheduling conflicts. Do you think that Kanye's antics had anything to do with their separation?
I mean, I definitely think it's one of those things where it can either break you or really strengthen you. I think they did put up a really good fight for a long time. And I think going through something like that is really going to strengthen you and show you who your partner is. Do they stand up for you? Are they able to, put up with it? But it adds a lot of stress to any relationship, just as we've heard long distance has added other stresses to their relationship. They had a lot going against them. The age difference, her having, her 4 kids with Kanye, and him saying, at some point he wants to be a dad. Were they, talking about having kids together and whether or not she wanted more? There's probably a lot of factors, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of them. Do I think that was, the final, the straw that broke the camel's back? No, but yeah, it just adds to the pressure and the intensity of what they have to endure on a daily basis.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's move on to a slightly lighter topic. So Kendall Jenner is back from her wilderness vacation with Devin Booker and is living it up in Chicago. She stopped by Joy District on August 8th for a private event that was serving 2 818 Tequila specialty cocktails. And I have the 2 cocktails listed out. The first one was called the Hydrator with coconut and lime. Okay. And then the other one was called Kenny's Favorite Marg, which also had orange liqueur added to it. So I'm guessing maybe that's Kenny's specialty little addition to her Marg. Right off the bat, Blakely, which one of these would you have been sipping, and would you love to party it up with Kendall? I lived in Chicago for a few years. Joy District is super, super fun. So I wish we would have been invited, but maybe next time.
So right at the back, I go margarita. I love a margarita, as long as it's not spicy, though. I don't do any kind of spice, and sometimes, they like to spice up those margaritas. So if there's a jalapeno thrown in there, it's not happening for me, and I'll be going with the coconut, the other one. But right off the back, margarita. What are you drinking?
Got it. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm going to go with the Marg, but I also want to know, if you were throwing an event, and maybe if you had a company or you had an alcohol company or any sort of thing to promote, or maybe it's even your wedding, and you have the option to do a signature cocktail named after you, what would you put in it?
Oh, so I'm a big fruity girl, so it would have to be something sweet. And I really do like tequila, so it would be something sweet with tequila, maybe some pineapple going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a very good, I'm not a mixologist, but those would be some key
Okay.
ingredients.
I got it. See, this is perfect because we can throw a party together. I think mine would have to either be tart or spicy. So we'll get something that
Oh,
everyone likes between the
we're,
two drinks. Everything will be great.
we're like yin and yang.
Exactly. It's perfect. So, wrapping up with these Kardashian headlines, obviously we now
Yeah.
know that both Kim and Chloe are currently single. Kim's out there taking shots with,
Mm-hmm.
with Kylie. Chloe is welcoming her son into the world, but they are both single. We heard a rumor that maybe Chloe was dating, an investment banker privately for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
that things ended. And we also know that season 2 of their new show has already wrapped. It's going to, premiere in the fall, but we don't know if they're filming season 3 or not. So, what are you thinking we're going to see in season 3? Do you think camera crews are on Kylie's birthday trip right now? Do you think it's going to focus on the Kim and Pete breakup, or maybe, Kim living a single life, Chloe living a single life? Is it going to pay homage to the earlier seasons where we would see them going out on the town and,
Yeah.
Kim and
They take
Chloe
Miami
take
or,
a city?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be focused
I
on?
I think that they're definitely filming for season 3, or they're either filming right now or they're taking a little bit of a break, because season 2 is coming so quick after season 1 ended. There is just absolutely no way that they had a break in filming, or a long break in filming at that, between seasons. So with that said, I think that we're definitely going to get maybe the ending of Kim and Pete, if they are following, or that could also be at the end of season 2. We don't know if they've wrapped filming for season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since we know that they're going to be showing Pete in season 2 because they've done it at the trailer, the story has to come full circle. They can't just like, oh, they broke up, we're never going to talk about this and show it again. So I think that will definitely be an element. Obviously, we're seeing Chloe in, motherhood role times 2 with her 2 children, navigating co-parenting with Tristan, I think will be huge. I don't think that we're going to be seeing Chloe out in the town anytime soon. She's made it very clear that I think her focus is on her children and her family right now. I mean, she was dating the private and maybe dating. I mean, who knows? There was never any actual confirmation on that. So I think that we'll really see her just kind of like embrace this new role of motherhood. And I think it's new because she's not doing it with Tristan like she did it before. And obviously it's new because now she's got 2 kids instead of 1. In terms of Kylie, I don't know that the camera crews are following Kylie. I mean, she's typically been much more private on the Kardashians. We did see her a little bit more in the last season, but again, she was pregnant, so we still didn't see her that much. It was more so the family gatherings that didn't revolve around her, right? We saw her at Kourtney's engagement, but that wasn't about Kylie. We don't see a lot of things that are about Kylie or about Kendall. And I would love to see a little bit more of that, truthfully. Kylie's had her baby now, so she's not pregnant. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of her. It seems like Kendall's trying to get more into the mix. So hopefully we'll see more of Kendall too. Because I feel like if there's anybody that's the most unrelatable, it's Kendall. And I feel like that's because we don't see her as much as everybody else. And I would love to get to know Kendall a little bit better.
I'm right there with you. I love following along with Kylie. I love her YouTube channel. I think Kendall's life of traveling might make it a little bit harder to keep up with her, but would love to know a little bit more about her, or maybe if she's willing to even talk about her relationship. I remember there being discussions at some point that the 3 older sisters, so Kim, Kourtney, and Chloe, have different contracts than Kendall and Kylie do. They're much more, the main people of the show. They always have been, and they've always kind of negotiated their contracts as such. Kylie and Kendall have more, I think, side gigs going, or at least prioritize them over the show a little bit more. But who knows? We'll see. They're with a new, they're with a new streaming service now. They're not on E, they're on Hulu. So maybe there's room for negotiating different things, or adding different elements, or making the episodes a little bit longer so we can see all of the sisters. I guess we will just have to wait to see for season 2 and hopefully season 3. But that is everything we have for you guys for the Kardashian headlines of the week. We want to know what you think about Kylie's glamorous 25th, Pete going to trauma therapy, and Kendall out and about in Chicago. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below and what you hope to see in the upcoming seasons of the Kardashians. But before you go, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any Kardashian updates. I'm Allison Van Dam, joined today by Blakely McHugh. Our social handles are on the screen right now if you want to come give us a follow and say hello. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.